Welcome everyone to the what episode are we on, Jesse? Because we're already getting up there in the
I
high
believe
tens.
I believe we're on episode 18 right now of the Boss Key
18?
podcast, just saying.
Yeah,
Yes, episode 18 of the Boss Key podcast, sir.
that sounds about right. Yeah, welcome to the episode 18 of the Boss Key podcast. I am your co-host McQuack306, joined as always by the handsome, the
Oh,
newly moved out. Now I'm in
oh
his own
no.
space, getting groceries, eating whatever he has until his refrigerator shows up. Jesse, what's up, Jesse?
Thank you so much for that big introduction, Big Josh. Yes. welcome. Welcome everyone again to the Boss Key podcast, episode 18. It's been going really good. Yes, absolutely, folks. That is exactly what happened. I'm absolutely moved out, knew everything. Currently living a lot closer to work, which is amazing. I've already done the drive for like the week, and I've already notched in only a mile each way, which is beautiful compared to 20. And right now, I'm just getting everything absolutely set up in my house. New TV just came in this morning right before recording this podcast. So, I'm going to be returning to the power of my Xbox, but now in 4K, which no lie, I've never had before. So, here we go.
That
Josh, how are you doing today, man?
I'm good. I'm good, man. I didn't even get to ask you this week just because of, you moving and work being kind of chaotic. But I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. I know we haven't done this in 2 weeks because of the
Mm,
pre-recording, but I hope you had a good Thanksgiving with family. I had a good one, with my mom and then with the in-laws. But I've been doing good, man. I've been doing well. A lot of Halo, a lot of Halo Infinite. That's basically all I've been
there we
playing.
go.
And I was just realizing it too this morning that I have not touched my PlayStation 5 in like 3 weeks since that Halo.
Pobrecito, dude, you're
Since
abandoning your PlayStation. Look what you've done. Dude.
I've been seeing it online too. Just me, just talking more Xbox, and it's come back. I think we talked about it before, but it's just I'm on an Xbox binge. I got an Xbox 360 last night. The black
Mm,
slim model, 320 gigs.
there we go.
I got Turok because that's the game I wanted to
Damn.
play. The 360 Turok.
That's the one Turok I have not played yet. I'll be honest. I did not play that Turok.
Dude, it's kind of it's not the best, and you can kind of see why it didn't get a sequel, but it's one of those games that I was like 19 at the time when I played it, and
Mhm.
I didn't care. This was me coming back into gaming. We talked about that. I had a
Yep.
hiatus and I missed so
There you
many
go.
games. And besides Gears 2 and Gears of
Yeah.
War, this was
Uh,
the other game that I picked up. It was like one of those GameStop buy two get one free holiday specials, and this was like $5-10. It might even be my free game. I
Yep.
just remember seeing Turok on there and
Yep.
being like, I remember this on the N64. I remember when I used to play games, and this was one of those. And yeah, it's not great. It's not it's not it never. I don't think it won any awards, but
Oh.
it's one of those that I remember being. It's not that great, but at the time, for me, my taste coming back,
Mhm.
I was like, "This is great." Basically, everything I was playing when I got back into gaming with the 360, I remember I
Mhm.
got the Lego and a Lego Indiana Jones and Kung Fu Panda combo pack, and I saw Kung Fu Panda. I'm like, damn, I could see his fur. Like,
Yep.
what is this? This is me coming from N64.
Yep.
Like really not that much GameCube, but
Mhm.
it was great, and uh,
You're like, the graphics are amazing. This is
I
like a
could see
time.
Poe's hair.
Whoa.
But yeah, I've been all Xbox, and that's all I've been playing. Halo Infinite, doing the daily, weekly challenges. I think you saw the updates that they did to it. A lot of good stuff. The progression is a lot better. You can pretty much level up for sure, at least one level per day. So
Okay,
so
thank
that's good.
goodness.
I think I'm like 64 right now, 65 in the,
Oh, dang.
yeah. That's
Oh
without buying
dang.
any other,
No.
progressions. I did get the battle pass premium, but I
Okay.
think that gave you like 20 levels. But this is pretty
Okay.
much just
Oh, way
me.
beyond that. You sold you jumped into it. You went straight ahead on it.
Yeah, pretty much. I realized like if because I have double XP, I could save
Mhm.
those and then play my first 7 matches with the double XP. That's 2 levels. Not to mention the weeklies that you can do that give
Mhm.
you 500 XP, 600 XP just for finishing them. Yeah,
Dang.
so now you can now progress. So I'm seeing I may be able to get to 100 by end of December. That's my goal. That way I can just play campaign and not worry about, oh, I gotta level up. I gotta get into the battle pass. So that's what I've been playing. What have you been playing? I don't know if you've been playing much with the move.
No, not that much. I've been definitely continuously moving everything. Um, besides moving out, I just mostly kept it to my PC and I kept it to like Quake during the week when I can.
Hmm.
Just something like quick. Like I dabbled into to classic Doom a couple times, just to play like a level or two, and then that's it. Um, and then I also jumped into a little bit of Wolfenstein: The New Order, just a little bit to
Nice.
continue further on that. I have that one on the PC too. My Xbox and everything's not connected yet. I just got my new TV today, so during the week I'm gonna be installing the Xbox, and then I will have my Game Pass back, and I'm gonna try Halo in 4K as well when that comes out.
Man,
That's how I'm gonna explore Halo Infinite for the rest of the time.
I loved Wolfenstein: The New Order. Just on a brief,
Oh.
I loved when it came out. I loved the story. I loved the gameplay. It's so fast. It's so fluid.
Dude,
Um,
BJ Blazkowicz in that one, man. Like he's like it revitalized everything. Like first off, like the story of a whole new era of like where the Nazis won and they're
mhm.
continuing after that. That's number one. But this was
Yes.
one of the game. This was one of the games. No lie, I definitely did get it sooner because this is the same thing. This is like the Zone of the Enders syndrome, where it came with like a Doom 2016 demo. Like it came with like a Doom 2016
Oh,
like a try,
yeah.
and then you get Wolfenstein: The New Order. But oh my god, I was not disappointed with Wolfenstein: The New Order. It was beautiful, and I ended up loving that game a lot. And then another soundtrack. Here I come with the music encyclopedia discussion, but another soundtrack composed by Mick Gordon. It was awesome.
I
Yeah, it was amazing the whole way through.
I love the story beats. It was kind of like it reminded me a lot of Max Payne, where you have you go through the gameplay, right, and then you hit
Mm.
a cutscene, and then it's more of his monologue, and it's more like Anya, your eyes, you saw through me.
Yeah.
Like it's just those, and it reminded me so much of Max Payne, of the. I don't know if you remember Max Payne, just his
Yeah.
inter monologue of him talking, and it just reminded me so much of that. That's why I loved the way they went about creating a Wolfenstein, a modern day Wolfenstein, and I'm like that's
Yep.
what I love. I didn't really like the last one. Um,
The new Colossus.
no, no, no.
Or oh no no the
Some young something. Yeah,
Youngbloods.
Youngbloods. That one
I
was
think it was I think it was called Youngbloods.
yeah, that one was okay. Even the new Colossus was kind of, I don't know. I think they were going more for a bigger zany, more campy as opposed to the first one. So it kind of
Hmm.
threw me off. But the first one, man, that's a title that holds up still. I mean, that came out maybe 6 years ago, I think.
Uh-huh.
And it still holds up. That's
I believe it was 2013 when it came out.
no.
I think.
I think
Wait, hold on.
maybe
I'm
even
gonna I'm gonna
sooner.
I'm
I
gonna I'm
think
gonna
it came out in
I'm gonna recon
2014. Yeah.
I'm gonna double check that real quick. I'm just gonna do that. Just gonna fact check myself because I believe that's when it came out.
I feel it was like
Oh, okay,
2014
okay,
or
you're right.
2015.
Okay, you're right. Yeah, not 2013, 2014. So a
2014.
year, a year later. So 2014, and then the new Colossus came out 2017. Another one that they said that was really good. I have it, but I haven't played it yet. The one right after that, the expansion, the Old Blood, they said was good as well.
Yeah, the old blood is
So
good too.
the New Order and the old blood, and then they said after that it goes like not so great.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a good game to be playing right now too. And then you said Halo Infinite. You've been
Hmm.
playing a little bit of the multiplayer.
No, not recently, not this week, because right now I just got internet barely last I just got internet last Monday,
Okay.
so I just finished transferring my internet over. I did play some Halo Infinite because if we remember, we recorded two podcasts before during the Thanksgiving week. I played a little bit of Halo Infinite.
Okay.
During Thanksgiving week, I did when I had internet, and um, God, I need to sharpen my Halo skills up a lot more than I thought I did. But you know what? Slayer has been coming up more often for me, which I love. But
Well, that's good.
I still love me some oddball all the time. Can't go
Oddball.
wrong with
Yeah,
oddball.
I love
I
Oddball.
won't reopen that one again, but I still love oddball every time. But yeah, I definitely will have some more things under my belt by the following week because everything will be fully set up now. So, God
Yeah.
willing, everybody,
And then
everything goes good.
Halo does launch this week coming up. It
Yes.
launches on the 8th, and that's
You
going
know
to be on
what?
Game Pass.
I changed my mind when we talked earlier. I'm gonna make Halo. I'm gonna make Halo my one of my first games I played in my 4K.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
4K.
That
It's gonna
should
come
look
out next week. It's gonna come out next week, anyways. I'm gonna play Halo 4
Wednesday.
and
Yeah.
excuse me, I'm gonna play Halo Infinite, 4K, uh, 60 FPS, baby. Let's go.
That's yeah. It's gonna be I think Halo is gonna be the huge topic if it's not already.
Yep.
For next week, I know I'm gonna be playing it. A lot
And
of people are
guess what,
telling.
everyone?
Oh,
It's on Game Pass.
yes, Game Pass on
Yep,
Wednesday
yep.
the 8th, and I know a lot of people are gonna be going to New Zealand that day on Tuesday, so that they can play a day early. I saw your reaction.
Really?
um,
They- they're
I
going.
saw your
They're
reaction
gonna.
while you were drinking.
They're.
You're like, what? You turned your head a little bit like, what?
I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa! They're gonna fly to New Zealand to play this game. They're gonna get themselves a plane ticket, go through all this quarantine madness and all this stuff during a pandemic, and they're gonna make it to New Zealand to play
No,
Halo early.
you could do that change your territory on your
Oh, on your
Xbox.
Xbox?
Yeah,
Oh, might as well just do that.
that's what they're doing to New Zealand. They're gonna change their Xbox home to New Zealand. But
Okay.
so this kind of goes hand in hand. We've been saying Game Pass already like five
Yeah.
six times, but that's our topic for the show is the recent I guess news. The rumors are that PlayStation is setting up something to pretty
Mm-hmm.
much finally compete with Game Pass. PS Now was the first, like I guess, from the main console holders to do some type of subscription service with the library of games and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of hit or miss depending on why you're going for their service, which is called PS Now.
Yeah.
Um, so
Ugh.
if we just run through what each one does, PlayStation Now is basically it's I believe it's $60 for the year. You get for a huge catalog of over I believe 400 games, 400 games available on PS4, PS5, as well as PC. It has you're able to do PC as well, and it has some games like for right now they have Mafia Definitive Edition, and that's available until the 22nd of February of next year. They got Celeste, Final Fantasy 9, 8, Fallout 76. They also added a huge game which is The Last of Us Part 2. That one's available until the 3rd of
Wow.
January. Yeah, that's a huge.
Nice. That's a big deal one.
Yeah, they have a bunch
Mm-hmm.
of them. They got Killing Floor 2. I'm just looking
Yep.
through. You guys can look this up too on the PlayStation PS Now
Yep.
website. But they have a lot of games um, that go from PS2 maybe I believe, PS3 and PS4.
Hmm. I think PS2 is the furthest they go. Not too many PS1 or not PS1 games.
Yeah, I
But
have.
PS
I haven't seen PS1 besides like the remastering, like the Final Fantasy 7.
Mhm.
That's like the PC port. So that's $60. That's what they're offering. They offer the old gen, which is like
Mhm.
PS3, only
Mhm.
streaming. You can only stream those PS3 games on your system or
Is isn't that all the games though for PS Now? Like, isn't all the games? No, not all of them. That's
not
what I thought
no
it was before.
not okay. So the PS3, and this is why it's so weird and it's so
Yeah.
clunky on the PS Now, is that PS3 games are streamable only. On
That's not
PS4,
good.
they added the before it was only stream. I believe it was only stream
Okay,
only, but they did add that you
they
can
changed it.
install them onto your PS4 to or PS5 to play it. So you can natively download those games and play them or stream them. The PS4 games have the option.
Mhm.
The PS3 is the only one that you can't do. Download and play natively.
Mhm.
You always have to be streaming, which
Okay.
then goes into hand with, oh, is my streaming capabilities good? Am I gonna have a bad
Mhm.
experience? Which I hear it's two things. It's dependent on your own online connection, as well
Mhm.
as the servers that you're trying to connect to on PlayStation. I have good internet. I can stream multiple things. I can download. I can pretty quickly. But
Mhm.
when I tried a demo on PS Now, it was just so bad that the screen started pixelating, there was lag, and then to the point where it would kick me out because they would
Mhm.
lose connection. I had a horrible experience with PS Now. That's why I've never subscribed to it. Just because if I'm going to be subscribing to PS Now, it's not going to be to play PS4 games that I already own. But it's going to be the ones that I want to play, like PS3. I want to play Metal Gear Solid 4 on my PS5. That's what
Yeah.
uh, I would want to play the Metal Gear Solid HD collection, or whatever it may be. Maybe I want to play the original Uncharted trilogy. I know they have the remastering, but some people like to
Right.
try the original, how it looked. That's PS Now.
Yeah.
Do you have anything you wanted to add on the PS Now front?
I did have the PS Now before, but I tried it out for like a month when they gave you like the cheaper deal, and that was literally the same exact experience that I had with PS Now because I got it at the time when because you said it's different now where you can PS4 games you can actually download them into your console, but I had it in the all streaming time. Oh my God, streaming games over the cloud is rough.
Yeah,
It's tough because it's a game, and yeah, I understand the difference between a game and a movie because a game you have to input many button responses and many things got to happen. So many button responses, the actions always got to change, and then the streaming service has to pick it up. Number one, if you're gonna have a PS Now, you better have a landline connection. I would not do it over Wi-Fi, period. I
yeah,
would hope I would say, dude, like hardwire, physical connect that thing. Um, I remember trying to play Batman before I believe it was like Arkham Asylum before they did all the re-releases, and that was not good, and it was not great, and uh, no, PS Now was just a very not great attempt, and I didn't have Xbox at the time, so I wasn't able to get Game Pass or anything like that. I couldn't tell the difference until I have it now. Um, but no, the games have to be installed. Like I think that has to be with everything. I mean, cloud gaming is great. Um, I've never played a just cloud game because I think Xbox Game Pass has cloud games too, right? That means that you can play it off the cloud. You don't have to install it onto your computer.
yeah.
Excuse me, into your Xbox.
Yeah, they had
Okay.
the option. So similar like PS Now, but
Mhm.
before Game Pass was always download and install. But now they have the same option as PlayStation. They actually went the opposite route. Now they are adding streaming to the console, which is really great. But that's also if you wanted to move forward, did you want to talk about the Game Pass? Since you're coming more from you started PS Now first and then you tried
Yeah.
Game Pass.
If I could start talking about Game Pass, I'm gonna tell you one thing. Game Pass, the difference between the two is night and day.
Yeah.
Like just the moment that you can install the games. Okay, here's the only part that takes like the longest. The install process when you
Yeah.
first get it. That's the only part that takes forever. But when the games are already taking up your hard drive, yes, the games run great. It's like if I have nothing on streaming. Nothing is streamed here. It's all playing perfectly. So the Game Pass model is 10,000 times more amazing than, and I can see why it's still the most popular version of it. I believe PS Now only has about 3.2 million people using it versus, do you know the numbers of how many people are using Game Pass off the top of
I
your
know
head?
there's not official numbers. I know it's hovering around the 20 million,
So yeah,
give or take plus or minus. But even then, like, that's a lot.
yeah.
That's huge.
There you go. Like, yeah. So it's like, okay, yeah, you're right. It's like 20 minutes, around 18 million from the article that I'm just
Yeah.
seeing. So if you wanted the true Netflix of gaming as of right now, it's Game Pass, and Game Pass has the bet. Well, dang, the thing is, the PlayStation has a bunch of games that you can play too. A lot of
That
exclusives,
yes,
and they have
that's
good
where the
games.
differences are.
But they're locked in, and then they're locked in behind this horrible, not great service of just mostly cloud, and
Mostly
and
cloud.
yeah, mostly cloud. I'm just saying it's mostly cloud. Like so many. Look at all these Resident Evil games you can play on now, and the Game Pass. Don't get me wrong, it has a great selection, but I feel that PS Now has the better selection of games.
Oh, really?
Like, I think so because it has like the Resident Evil has Ratchet and Clanks, but it depends on the exclusives that you like. It depends
Hmm.
on which exclusives you like. Because obviously, if you like certain exclusives, you're gonna have to stay on one versus the other. Like PlayStation Now has a bunch of Star Wars games. The Force Unleashed. Um it has all my Sonic games. I don't have a Sonic game on Game Pass. I don't have
You
Sonic
sure?
Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2. Huh?
You
I
sure?
don't think so.
Well,
There should
I
a,
know,
a
I
Sonic
know,
game?
I know for a fact that Star Wars are on Game Pass because another
Oh, they
thing,
just
another thing that game,
EA.
yes,
Oh, okay.
exactly. EA Play
Okay,
is
never mind.
on
Okay,
there.
just now. Okay. But it doesn't have all the Star Wars games. It has the EA specific ones, right? Because I don't remember like I don't remember
So this
the
is
Force Unleashed being on it.
so these are what they have on there. Star Wars Battlefront 2, Star Wars
Uh-huh.
Squadrons,
Uh-huh.
Star Wars Battlefront,
Mm,
Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order,
mm.
and yeah, that's what it
That's it.
has.
That's it. And then right here, with this one, you get Star Wars Bounty Hunter, you get Star Wars Jedi Starfighter, you get Star Wars Racer's Revenge, you get Star Wars The Force Unleashed Ultimate Sith Edition, and you get Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2. So now it looks like they took the EA games to Xbox. They moved them
Yeah.
since they have that exclusivity with them. Silent Hill HD collection. Um, Okay, well, maybe not necessarily all better games than it, but oh my God, really? PS Now has Tekken 7 and Tekken Tag 2. Okay, see, this is okay. Maybe I love PS Now. The service is looking like, but
And this is
uh,
where the like there this is where it's not so cut and dry like okay, obviously Game Pass is better. No, it's also very subjective
no,
because when you start looking at the
yeah,
stats, you start looking okay, overall you look at how much is PS Now. PS Now is $60 a year,
Mhm.
right?
That's right.
You ask yourself how much is Game Pass for a year? It's 120 for the year.
Hmm.
So already it's Game Pass is where it's charging double the price, right? How many
Hmm.
games are on each one? Well, PlayStation touts more than 400, while Xbox touts over 100. So you're getting at least four times more games on PS Now than on Game Pass. But with Game Pass, you get them all of them. You can install them onto your system or your PC. And
Yeah.
now they just added streaming to the console, as opposed
Mhm.
to PlayStation. You know, all of them are streamable, right? That's where they're going.
Mhm.
All of them are streamable, but only a select few you can actually install, which is not the PS3 games. Basically, you're
Mhm.
missing out on the PS3 installation. And I'll tell you this, if you could have if I could install PS3 games onto my PS4 or PS5 from PS Now, like I would have already subscribed.
Immediately.
That's where
Immediately.
I would have still going I would have gone for the platinum on Metal Gear Solid 4. But
Yeah.
you can't install it, and that's why I haven't been a subscriber to PS Now, because I don't feel like I'm getting the full benefits of it. Plus, Xbox with Game Pass, you can also play your games on your phone, on your tablet,
Mhm.
with a better connection. I believe you could try doing that with PS Now on, like,
Mhm.
through a tablet. But it's not the same as Game Pass in terms of quality.
Mhm.
So Game Pass also has that availability on check on multiple platforms. So there's a price difference. There's also the games difference. You just said it right now. You said, "Oh, I think I really like PS Now because of the games." It's very
I
subjective. It's
know.
very
It's hard.
subjective because
It's
you have to
it,
go, what games are on each one. Does it cater to me? Am I gonna enjoy all the Gears of War games? Yeah,
Mhm.
that's for me.
Mhm.
That's where Game Pass comes in. Am I gonna enjoy all the Halos? Of course, I'm gonna get Game Pass.
Yep.
And all the other offerings. But you know, the other big thing that Xbox has is Game Pass has day and date Microsoft titles. Halo,
Mhm.
you're gonna be
Yep.
playing Halo. How
Yep.
how much do you have to pay up front to play Halo day one?
Nothing.
Nothing extra, because it's already included in your
Yep,
subscription to Game
it's
Pass.
already in it. It's already in it. So I don't have to buy the game again or anything. Now the only thing I would have to pay is for any battle passes or anything like that I want to get after that.
Yeah,
That's
and
it.
they released, what was it, 3 weeks ago, or a month ago, Forza. I didn't have to
There you
buy
go.
it.
I
I
didn't have
mean,
to buy that
I
either.
bought the $45 upgrade, the deluxe, that normally would cost me $100, but I only
Uh-huh.
paid 45 to play early, to get all the
Mm,
the car packs, pretty much everything included.
mm,
And that I for other people who wanted to wait for the day of release, they didn't have to pay any extra. Within a month, they get Forza and they get Halo dropped.
yep.
Plus all the other games that released. I didn't have to pay for Psychonauts 2 when it released.
Mm-mm.
I played that for about 2-3 hours. It was good, but I didn't pay $60. I just paid my
Mm-mm.
Game Pass subscription.
That is gonna be gaming in the future. I'm telling you, it's just gonna be straight up how it's gonna be.
Yeah,
It's gonna be alongside with movies, and then so then they're gonna have to figure out a way to pay all the developers by how many times the game is streamed or something like that. It's
yeah,
gonna it's, it's gonna it's gonna turn into like Spotify, and all the other, and it's gonna turn into like Spotify. Gaming is like one of the final bastions of entertainment that's gonna be part of like the majority streaming.
yeah.
Because physical releases, I love physical releases,
Same
but
here.
they're soon gonna be the collector's items because companies are gonna want to develop consoles without any drives or anything because it's gonna cost less and it's gonna
I mean, they're
be
halfway
dumb
there.
dumb and stuff. Yeah,
Each
they're already there.
each one has their own diskless console.
Yep. They have a discless console, and it costs less money to produce discs. I mean, excuse, to not produce discs. Like,
Hmm.
if they could stream everything, just put it online, ready to go. Like, it's ready to go immediately. Everyone can just download it. No such thing as like selling out, or yeah, the internet might crash for like a moment if everyone's trying to download it all at once for 2 seconds. Like, um, but that's just gonna be how it is. Overall, and as of right now, Game Pass has set the best model. Like I said earlier, subjective with which games you like.
Yeah.
Of course, PS Now, PS Now has a lot of great games I would love, except it's a crappy service. It's not that great.
Hmm.
Um, Xbox Game Pass is a fantastic service. The library is just a little smaller compared to from what I'm reading right now compared to the two. But now it actually improved since they acquired Bethesda. So I love a lot of Bethesda games. I'm going to be jumping into Skyrims and the Quakes and um, I mean anything that new that comes out from Bethesda now is not going to come out on Game Pass on PC and for my Xbox Series X. Um, but the reason why we're all talking about this is because that big news, man, that they announced it was yesterday by our accounts.
Yeah, Spartacus. Pro-
Spartacus.
Project
That's
Spartacus.
I still don't. Man, that is just the strangest name that I heard when that came out. I was like Spartacus. I was like, why? That's what I was thinking in my head. I was like, why this?
I don't know why the name, but basically Spartacus is PlayStation's answer to Game Pass. They're finally
Here it is.
woken up and said, "Oh, Game Pass is actually pretty good. Game Pass is actually doing numbers.
Like
Let's do
PlayStation has
this."
now entered the chat in regards to
Yes.
streaming. In regards to more streaming, like, oh, here we go. This is what's going on.
So the rumors are that there's going to be a multi-tier system for subscribing
Yes.
to this. Basically, at the front level, it's going to be, I believe, PS Now or PlayStation Plus, something like that. I don't know if you have the details in front of you.
I do. So, from the rumors and the reports that I see, from the rumors and the reports that I see, it's going to be a three-tier system. So, tier number one is going to be similar how to PS Plus is now. So, the service that they're going to, what we say like get rid of or they're going to merge is PS Now.
Yeah.
They're gonna keep the PS Plus moniker. They're gonna keep that. But tier one is gonna be how PS Plus is now. So a game every two to three games every month. Again, like how they've been doing. The second tier is gonna add a hefty batch of PS4 and PS5 games.
Okay.
So that is what tier number two is going to be. And then the third tier, the ultimate tier, the top tier, the extended level tier,
The God of War tier.
God of War tier, the Kratos tier, the Gaia tier. But yes, basically the top tier. The best is the best one. The best one of them all. It's going to include extended demos, game streaming, and a library of PS1, PS2, PS3, and PSP games.
Damn, they're still not acknowledging Vita, but okay. They don't care.
Yeah.
They really do
No,
not care for Vita, which
nope.
is sad.
Sorry, buddy. They did not. Vita is not in the chat right now. They didn't say Vita at all.
I still carry my Vita.
Yep. Hold on to it, man. It's about to become a rare gem. Hold on to your Vita.
That seems like the last tier seems like the biggest draw is the games. It's not really
Yes.
whatever the game streaming is or the free quote unquote free when you're paying for it, but free demos.
Extended demos. They
Yeah.
call it extended demos. But yes, so it looks like they're finally putting their hat into the ring, and I hope. Here's what I'm hoping for, because we don't have all the details on it yet, but I hope that it's all like Game Pass. Like I hope that you're able to download these onto your PS5.
I, I,
I would hope that it's not each thing streaming older than PS4 or PS5. I hope not. I hope it's all the download into it.
I've said this before that the reason why Xbox Game Pass gets hate or gets downplayed is because it's Xbox, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the main summary from a lot of people. Like, oh, like Halo, Gears, Forza. That's all you guys get, and stuff like that. But because of the recent acquisitions, Microsoft has been buying huge developers and games in the last 3-4 years, and Bethesda was like I would say one of the last key factors that they really needed to come back to.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have all the Bethesda games on Game Pass.
Yep.
Your Skyrims, your Dooms,
Yep.
Wolfensteins, all of them are on Game
All
Pass.
that. Yep.
And
All outs.
I always felt like if PlayStation had done PS Now the same way as Game Pass, this would be a different story. This would be a different topic because
Yeah.
then a lot of people would be like, "Yeah, this is really good. This is why wouldn't I want The Last of Us Part 2 day 1 and I don't have to
Yep.
pay anything extra? Why wouldn't I want to subscribe to something for $120 a year
Mm-hmm.
and get God of War Ragnarok and what's the other one? Gran Turismo and Horizon in the same year,
And Spider-Man 2.
and Spider-Man 2 the following year. But
Yep.
it's it's
And Wolverine.
it's that
I get all
mentality.
these.
It's that
Yep.
mentality of the same, like, oh, I don't have to pay for. I can just keep subscribing. It's kind of like having a movie subscription where, oh, I only pay $20 a month and I can go to the theater and watch any movie I want.
Ooh, I have that. I have the Regal one.
See,
That's a good one. That's a good one.
and
That was amazing. I
and
love that one.
see how it's a good one. It's not like, oh, you can watch any movie as long as it's been past a month. No,
Oh,
day of release. Oh, here's my pass. Cool. Like that's what everybody
my
wants. You
my girl
know.
finally convinced me to get that thing. I went to like 3 movies with her, and then she's all like, "Oh, you're gonna get it or what?" So I was like, "Yeah, I probably should. Maybe. I don't know." I was holding out on getting it, but once I did, oh my god, movie days have been like stupendous. Like you just go each time whenever the hell you want. And I've seen so many more movies with that thing. Um, but yeah, similar to movie. I remember the one before that came out, before the pandemic. I had the oh my god, there was one that they tried to do it, where they tried to do that
I
type of
remember.
model. It
That's
was some. It was called something Pass. I forgot the name.
it's like
But they
Movie
tried
Pass
to
or
do it.
something. It's so
Yeah,
simple.
I think maybe it was like maybe it was movie. Was it Movie Pass?
Oh,
Was
I
that
don't
what it was
know.
called?
I don't know.
I think it was, but it was something like that where they did it, but it was like more complicated because you had to order it on your phone and then you go to the theater and then use that voucher to get your ticket. But you can only see one movie a day with that.
Oh,
Um, I think it was dang Last Pass or something. Well, if you guys know in Twitter, let us know which one I'm talking about. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. But that was a service before the pandemic, where they were trying to do that type of deal, like get movies on a subscription basis. But I think that one was like $100 for like the year or something. But yeah, movie subscription services is huge. And in order to jump into like the world of like business real quick, streaming gets you continued revenue every month.
yeah.
So this is why a lot of companies and corporations are really going to push streaming services
And
because they'd rather you generate it. They don't care if you're not going to buy each game because a certain game could be a flop, and all
yeah,
it can take is a game like a couple game reviewers to say this game is not great. Don't buy it.
the word of
There you
mouth.
go. You're only gonna sell 500,000 instead of like the millions of copies. But on a streaming service, if the game is good or it's not good, we get money. We get money either way.
Yeah, I was telling earlier
So
to go inside with that movie. I was wondering
yeah,
I'm like, man, this dude watches so many movies when we talked before starting on the show. But you were talking about that you saw Resident Evil, and
yes, I did
and you
with my
were
movie pass.
with your movie pass, and you
Regal.
you were gonna tell me the details, and you're like, oh, do you care for it? I'm like, I don't really care for it, so you can tell me, but I wasn't gonna pay for it. I'll
Yep.
still watch it, but when it hits Netflix or something, and that's the thing too, is that the word of mouth. They may never watch this movie because they never want to pay for it, but
Mhm.
if it comes on Netflix or Hulu, whatever subscription service they have, hey, I'll
Mhm.
watch it there. I haven't watched what's that Marvel movie, Shang-Chi. I
Shang-Chi?
Yeah, I haven't seen it,
Yeah.
but I know it's
Okay.
there because it's on Disney Plus now, and so is Black Widow.
Yep.
But it also you try to find that balance. Like I know Disney was trying to do that, like, oh, watch the same day as theater, but pay $30 for it.
Ugh. I didn't
But
like I didn't like that idea. I was like a premium one. I was like, oh man.
I didn't like that either. But because of the pandemic, I wasn't going out, but I did see, um, what was that one with the rock? The with the boat.
Oh, Jungle Cruise.
Jungle Cruise. I did pay for that
Jungle
one.
Cruise.
I did pay 30
Okay.
bucks. I was like thinking, you know what? I was gonna if I would have gone to the theaters, I would have had to pay maybe 15 bucks per ticket for me and her. So we invited her, her family to watch it at our place, and so it was like six of us for 30 bucks. I was like, yeah, that's a good deal. And I'm thinking to myself, man, if they would have done it too, which they won't, because like I said, it just depends on the property. If Spider-Man No Way Home, if you're able to stream it day one onto your
Oh.
into your home, you know how many people would have rather just, oh, I could just watch it here. I don't even have to leave. I don't have to go. I have a 65-inch 4K brand new TV that I just got into my apartment. Uh, and I'd
I
rather
love how you
watch.
look. I love how you looked at me when you just said that. I was like, of course you're gonna look at me and say that.
You'd be like, oh yeah, I'll pay the
Yep.
premium, or I'll want it day one, and I guess
Yep.
it just depends on the property. And I've said it before, if Nintendo were to have come up with or to follow up Game Pass, that would be,
Ooh.
see how it that the
Now
reception
that.
changes.
Whoa.
It changes.
Whoa.
Oh,
Whoa.
what do you?
Nintendo is gonna. People are gonna go nuts for a Nintendo subscription-based game service. Oh my god, dude! I think everyone would leave and go that way.
Dude, I mean, they already have one. They have one with the Nintendo Switch Online, but
No,
it's not what
no.
we're talking about. That's more
Heck
like a
no.
select library, and but even with Nintendo, they're very stingy with what they're offering.
Yep.
But would you pay, you having a Switch, would you pay the same price as Game Pass, but now you have Skyward Sword HD remaster, you have Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart, Super Smash Brothers, the list goes on. You have all these under one service.
You know how many Wii titles I will be trying out if that thing came out? If it came out like a service like that? Wii U titles, GameCube titles. Dude, Nintendo would make a killing. And Nintendo knows this. They know this. They know Nintendo. Look, Nintendo is the oldest of all the gaming companies. They are the OGs compared to everything that's out today. Like the things older than that, Atari and ColecoVision and like some companies are older than Nintendo that make the games, but Nintendo is like
Over a
the
hundred.
top.
Oh,
Ooh, Nintendo and Sega were the OGs. Unfortunately, Sega is now just a game company. It's not no consoles for it, but it sort of died out, but did die out. But Nintendo is the my goodness, it's the granddaddy. Now I know right now the system sellers are the Xboxes and the PlayStations, but do not deny that Nintendo is the granddaddy of all these consoles, and they still know how to make superior
they
games.
still
They
know
do.
they still know how to sell you the same Mario game as well for the
Yes,
15th time.
they will, dude. They will do that. They will sell you Zelda for days. If anything comes out Zelda related, you know you're gonna buy it.
Yeah.
You know, like everyone's gonna get it. If they sell something, I mean, right now with Metroid Dread, that was a huge release that everyone loved. Um, and anything with Smash Brothers again, and like if they released like a new Earthbound or something, dude, that would bring people's attention. If they Nintendo themselves, my goodness. I mean, I don't think they're ever gonna do a streaming type service like that. I mean, unless they see like, I think they're gonna look at PlayStation and see how theirs goes,
Hmm.
and then they'll think about it. They'll maybe think about it because Nintendo knows like the future too. But right now, Nintendo games sell like hotcakes. Any Nintendo game
Yeah.
sells. Like even the newest re-releases of Pokemon Generation 4, the re-releases of those two games sell. Everyone's tweeting about it. Everyone's posting about it. Like it's Nintendo is the super. Even on, I'm gonna put the other thing that why Nintendo is so great as well. Even on what's considered inferior hardware compared to Xbox Series X and PS5, the hardware is way different. Like it's a lot less, but Breath of the Wild looks amazing. And when they use their original IPs, their games look amazing.
Yeah.
And then like some games like Mortal Kombat and like Doom on the Switch, they're good, but they're not compared to their higher end properties. It's like similar to like the reasons why like I would see like the differences between iPhones and Samsung like Galaxies. Like sometimes some people see Galaxy phones as having like better hardware, better camera, like better specs. But Apple, their iPhones are still the hottest seller because even with their lowered amount of some areas, their operating system just works perfectly. Like it just works so well that everyone wants it. And that's the same with Nintendo. They're the masterminds of their own thing and their own games and their own tech.
Hmm.
And they maximize everything for themselves. So I would agree. Oh my goodness. A Nintendo streaming cloud download service like this. Imagine if Nintendo had. I mean, yes, we have sort of like a download game every. But who knows whenever they release the SNES games and the NES games? They're like sporadic. They don't have like a set schedule on when they release new SNES and Nintendo classics. But imagine if they had like a PS Now service, but for like Nintendo. I love no, excuse me, not PS Now. Sorry, I got my name mixed up. PS Plus service like Nintendo, where they
Yeah.
release like 2 games a month or something like that. Even one game a month
Well, they
would
have
be
they
like
have one
fantastic.
they have one this month on December 10th. They have Paper Mario releasing on the Nintendo Switch Online
Well,
service.
there you go. But like, but then again, see, you don't know how
Yeah.
when the next one's gonna be after that. They don't have a set schedule on
Yeah,
that.
like Xbox, I
Yeah,
think with Games with Gold, the first day
every,
of the month, and
yeah,
then the 16th, I think, like in the middle, and then PlayStation, it's the first Tuesday
yeah.
of the month.
And I'll tell you this: between the two services, this is one thing that PlayStation did get on lock. For PlayStation Plus, oh my God, their 2 games a month service is way better. They've offered a boatload of great games on that
So
one
yeah, that's
versus the Xbox version of it, games with gold. You gotta. There's a couple of gold nuggets within like the other piles of things that you would get, but PS PS Plus has released bangers, like a lot of good games for free, by the way.
so that's the second part too. Is their other, I guess, service, which is
Mm.
PlayStation Plus. Like you stated, they offer about 3 to 4 games added to your library, which don't
Every month.
expire. They don't expire
Nope.
like their PS Now or Game Pass, where oh, this game
Yep.
is leaving the vault or the library. As long as you like unlock it onto your account,
Yep.
you have access to it as long as you have the subscription. So,
There
um,
you go. As long as you have an active PS Plus membership, you can use it.
yeah, and so
Exactly.
from that perspective, games with gold, which is Xbox's version as well, they have a similar thing too, but they their selection, like we said, this entire thing in terms of what's being offered is always going to be subjective, but I think collectively it's not on par with what PlayStation is doing on their side with the PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
We talk about this one too because PlayStation Plus, along with discounts on digital games and stuff like that, as well as the free games that they offer onto the service, it's also mainly for the online connectivity. They give you the cloud saves, which is free on Xbox, but it comes on PlayStation Plus, but also it's used to play online. You need to have PlayStation Plus in order to play multiplayer games online. Not the free to play. Free to play has always been free,
Right.
like Warzone. But if you buy the newest Call of Duty, Vanguard, you need
Yeah.
PlayStation Plus in order to play online multiplayer. Um,
Yep.
so their offering, I think, by far is superior, is way better than games with gold. I
Yep.
think games with gold, they offer you Xbox original, Xbox 360, and Xbox One games, but
Mhm.
they're not on par with what PlayStation is doing, which where they're even
Mhm.
giving you new like next gen versions of the game. I know they gave out Maneater in the beginning of the year, for onto the PlayStation Plus for PS5. So you
Mhm.
PS5 owners at least have 12 PlayStation 5 games year one for
Dang.
$60. For $60, so that's a lot. That's less than what, $10 per game. That's
Dude, it's
literally
a
$5 per game. $5 per PS5 game because they offered at least 12 of them throughout the year. They do have
yeah.
some misses. They have some weird stuff that they do because they'll offer you the PS4 game, like the main one, Final Fantasy VII Remake, which
Hmm.
was a huge get. Final Fantasy
Yup.
VII was a huge because at that time it was barely, I think, a year old.
Hmm.
Um, but
Just a year. Like, if you
yeah,
waited a year, you can get it. Well, sometimes you don't want to wait a year, but like sometimes you want to get it now. But a year later, Final Fantasy. That's how I played the remake. That's how I got it.
yeah, and they gave that out, but only the PS4 version with no upgrade option, no PS5 version,
Oh,
which
well, it
is
was good for me.
weird.
I still had the PS4, so that
Yeah.
works for me.
So yeah, it's still good, but it's just weird, Like they
Yeah.
offered the one that I mentioned earlier, the shark game. I forgot now what the name is. Name of it was Maneater. They offered Maneater for PS5, but they didn't give out the PS4 version. So PS4 players missed out on that one because if they only have a PS4 and no PS5, they can't play Maneater. That's basically a lost title for them. So really, this benefits mostly the PS5 users above all else. So I feel like PlayStation, in terms of the tiers between the all four programs, I think PlayStation Plus is way better than games with gold.
Yes,
But
that's
I
true.
I also think that Game Pass is way better than PS
PS
Now.
now.
But
So
also if
they offset. They offset each
yeah,
other.
uh, monetary value, Game Pass Ultimate, which combines both services, Xbox Live Gold as well as Game Pass, it's $180 a year. It's $180 a year, um, and with PS Now and PlayStation Plus, it's $120 a year, so $60 cheaper. So
Hmm.
there's good and bad. PlayStation is gonna try to combine the two from the reports and add more to it. What's your price? What do you think the price is gonna be for the ultimate tier? The you get everything:
Tier
PlayStation
three.
Plus, PlayStation Now, plus all those games that are being added: PS1 through PS3 and PSP. I'm thinking
That's
180. I'm
that's
thinking
a
they're gonna
lot.
match it.
That's a lot of PlayStation. Just saying, like that's a lot of PlayStation offering right there. And I'm gonna agree with you. They're gonna match the top tier. I don't. I think if they raise it to 200, that would be ridiculous. I don't think anyone would get a console amount or a near console amount for a script subscription service. That would seem really harsh for me. I
Hmm.
think I think I think if it's similar to the Xbox One, the 180 sounds about right. Now, if it's lesser than the Xbox One, if it's like 150 or something, whoa, that'd be like whoa, whoa, whoa. That's a lot of PlayStation. But I do agree, it's gonna be triple digit. We're not gonna undersell it, just like how we thought about the expansion pass for for Nintendo when we said $5 more, 15 bucks more, like we did last time. We're not underselling it this time. We're gonna shoot for the moon, and if it's less, we'll just be happier for it. I agree, triple digits, 180. I'm definitely seeing that.
I mean, PlayStation Now was $100 at launch, $100 for the year, which was
Mhm.
still $20 cheaper than Game Pass. But I think it's PlayStation. I think they're trying to dip their toe in here and be like, is this really good? Because
Mhm.
PS Now didn't do so well, and
Mhm.
we dropped the price from 100 to 60, and that didn't really do much to the subscriber count.
Mhm.
I think what they're missing most, besides native gameplay, native download, is day and date. I think if they ever did day and
Eh,
date, if they say, hey, you know what, starting, I even think it would be better if they went the Disney route. If they're so scared about day and date and losing sales, I think even doing the Disney route where, hey, for if you don't have this subscription, then it's $70. But
Oh,
if you have the subscription, it's $35.
okay.
I think that would be a better hit, and
Uh,
I think it's gonna drive more people to digital. Which there's
mm,
been a recent report that people still buy more physical on PlayStation than they
mm,
do on Xbox. So they
yeah.
still get the sales. They may even get more sales, from there when people go, "Hey, I was gonna wait for a price drop, but $35 is cheap, and it's already
Mm,
coming with my subscription."
mm.
I think that'll be the better route for PlayStation. Whether it's $35 or 50, even $50, there's gonna get more sales than the $70, price tag.
So
That's my
yeah,
guess. That's my guess on
me.
what they would do.
So let me get this straight. So you still get all the services paying like the 180 that you get, the classic PS4, PS1, PS3, PS2 games, PSP games. But then if something new comes out, if you want to play it on the digital service, you get it at a reduced price,
That's what I
like
think
a
they're
lesser
gonna
price.
do.
Okay.
I think that's what they're
Okay.
gonna do, and that's
Uh,
their mark.
I don't know. I feel they're gonna copy the Xbox. I think they're gonna do a trade-off like that. I think they will do
I
it. I
don't know.
think
I can't see
they
them
have
do that.
But they have to compete though. Like, dude, if you're gonna tell them they're gonna pay more for it, like Disney already got backlash for that. Disney already got like a flack for that. Like HBO won that one because HBO said no, we're gonna release it on theaters and in HBO Max.
Yes, but
Yeah,
also those were, like I'm saying, subjective and
it's
the
true.
perspective. Are you gonna okay? Which one would you rather see day one, right? And this is
Okay.
all very subjective. But would you have rather see day one, Godzilla versus Kong, or Spider
Uh,
Man No Way Home?
oh, of course, Spider-Man: No Way Home.
That's what I'm saying. Is that
Yeah.
is that that's where PlayStation's mentality is. Okay, yeah, the other competitors doing free stuff, but when you think about it, Halo, it's just for the campaign. The
Yeah.
multiplayer is already free. Everybody's playing Halo. You know, with PlayStation, it's like, hey, would you rather play,
Uh-huh.
whatever it is? It's the PlayStation mentality of we're
Yeah.
better, so we don't need to put our games day and date.
Mhm.
But now that we might as well do it, but it'll be at a cost.
There you
They have
go.
that Disney
Okay.
mentality of
So you think Sony has more of that powerhouse on their game library that yeah, we can do this. We can get away with that.
I think so. They have more. They have
Yeah,
like they've been the market leader for the longest now.
that's true.
They don't do that
I
by downplaying their games and doing that. I'm not saying
but
that
yeah.
Microsoft is just doing that, but in my eyes,
Mhm,
Microsoft did Game Pass,
mhm.
um, because they were so down on the
Mhm.
in the gen. They were getting rocked.
Oh.
They were
So
getting
they did it out of desperation, you're saying.
I think so. I really do
Yeah.
think that they're like, you know what? We're losing the console space. Everybody's going to PlayStation. We're being outsold 2-1. Um, and Game Pass, this is gonna be like the Hail Mary. They had multiple things
Nice.
going into it, but
Uh-huh.
when Phil Spencer came in, but I think they just said, you know what? Our games aren't selling
Mhm,
as well as we thought. Our system's not selling. Let's do
mhm.
something like a subscription service where we offer all of our games day one, and it's been working. It's they have, like you said, 18 plus million subscribers,
Yeah, they
and I
do. They
think
have a lot.
PlayStation hasn't really cared about PS Now because their
Their
games
games are still
sell.
selling. Yep.
When your games sell, you don't have to put it on a subscription service. Disney has their Disney Plus, but now their movies aren't showing up day one.
No.
People knew that, oh, Shang-Chi, I want to see the next Marvel film. Oh, I gotta wait 3 months, or I get to pay for it early and watch it at home for $30.
Mhm.
There's that option.
They're not doing. I don't think they're doing that for No Way Home though. I
No,
think that's just in theaters. Well, that's because it's like partly a Sony property too.
yeah,
So
that's
they're all like, "Nah, we ain't doing that."
yeah, that's why they're not doing that. That, and also I think it's because of Spider Man.
Yeah.
They're not gonna
Nah,
lose sales.
we want to fill those butt seats. We want to fill the seats. We want to fill your butts into the seats.
But I generally do
Um,
think that's what the PlayStation would do. I think that's gonna be the negative. I think when all said and done, they're gonna be like, here's we're adding 300 new games onto the service, ranging from PS1, PS2, PS3, and PSP games. People are gonna be like, yeah, that's awesome, more games. Oh, you're gonna be able to download these games. Oh my God, yes. The service is gonna cost 180. Okay, well, yeah, it's same price as Game Pass. Okay, okay. But the kicker is gonna be like, oh, and we're gonna be adding games day and date, but it'll have a $40 price tag. Oh, Game Pass is better.
that's always gonna happen. That's
Yeah,
always gonna happen
you
regardless.
you'll get that, but then I'm thinking of it like, oh, well, if I already have the service and I want to play Spider Man, you know, the Spider-Man 2, I could either pay $70 or, since I'm already subscribed, pay $40. Quote
Okay.
unquote save money.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Love
know,
your air quotes right there.
and
Quote
I
unquote save.
and I think about it, I'm like, would I ever pay premium? And I just said, yeah, I paid premium for Forza so I can play it early. I
Okay.
literally paid $45 to get basically the all the DLC. Plus, I got to play it like 4 or 5 days early, and for me, I felt like that was worth it. That was worth my money, and I could see other people doing that. I could see, other games I would do that for. Hey, would you pay $45 to play, Spider-Man 2 5 days early? Okay, download.
So I think it actually just goes along with what we said earlier, man. It's player preference.
Preference.
There's player preference. There are people that want to play this game early. They saw it so many times, they'll pay. And hey,
Yeah,
man, wherever you want to spend your money. That's the freedom you got to spend your money wherever you want
yeah,
on whatever services, whatever things that you can get. And there's always going to be the people that are going to complain about it. I mean, God, just look at Twitter for 1 second. You can already see the complaints on both sides. You can see complaints about everything,
yeah,
and people are always going to look for that one error that something has. Oh, pay a premium to play the newest PS5 game right now. Boom! It's gonna get flagged with all these tags and all these things. Like, it's gonna happen. But you know what? If you have the preference to play it, play it. I feel Nintendo could actually get away with that better than PlayStation.
they do. They actually charge $60 per release to play.
No,
I'm just,
no. I mean,
I
no,
know.
but I mean, I mean, like, if they did like a Game Pass type deal, and they
Oh,
did like, and then they did something like that where you say you pay cheaper.
yeah,
Yeah.
I just with Nintendo. I mean, Nintendo beats their own. They go to their own drum, whatever the saying is. But they,
Oh, they march to the beat of their own drummer.
there you go,
There you go.
and they just don't care. They. I mean, look, they're getting away with giving us what is it, like 10 N64 games and like 10 or 5 Sega Genesis games that are available on other platforms and other game
Yep.
collections, and they're charging a premium for it, and they're getting away with it. And that's Nintendo. That we've allowed
Nintendo
them
is
to do
the
that. We've allowed them to do that. But when
yep.
Xbox does it, it's kind of scoffed at. It's kind of, oh well,
It's blasphemy. It's like the most horrible thing on the planet. It's like, how
yeah,
dare you? Like,
you'll ruin us. You'll ruin the gaming industry with this. But that's where I'm at too. It's if like I said, I said it with Nintendo, and I'll say it with PlayStation. But
yeah.
if Xbox does it, it's bad. If Xbox does it, it's not that great. It's downplayed. I've heard people
Mhm.
say, "Oh, Xbox is a Dreamcast is a DreamWorks, while PlayStation is Pixar." And
Oh, really? I
see,
like some DreamWorks movies.
there you go. And that's where I go at. I'm like, why is that seen as a negative when there's like DreamWorks gave us Shrek?
Yes, a bunch of Shrek movies.
What
I
are
love
you
all the Shrek movies.
What are you talking about? Like, they say DreamWorks is bad, but I'm like, no. Like, I also like Shrek. I'd even watch Shrek over some Pixar films. Um,
Hmm.
but Yeah, I think Xbox their legacy for the Xbox One is gonna be Game Pass. It's not gonna be anything else they did. It's gonna be Game Pass, and people are gonna look
Hmm.
at it, years from now. Like you said, a lot of people thought cloud gaming was the future, or it still is the future, but it's subscription.
Yeah,
It's having
subscription.
these whole libraries. Even EA jumped on with Xbox and said, okay, EA Play is
Hmm.
now on Game Pass, and even their model is pretty good because you get all EA titles, and then any future title, I think it's after 6 months, it'll end up on
Hmm.
the service.
Yep.
That's pretty good too. I could see them, PlayStation, doing that instead of charging a premium. Say, hey, yeah, all PS5 titles from us after 6 months, it'll release there. It'll release on
Yep.
there.
Oh yeah, man, that's going to be the future throughout. It's already it's the tea leaves are being put everywhere already in regards to like that's just going to be gaming in the future. That's how everyone's going to get their games. It's going to be with your just like your TV and just like your music. It's going to be all subscription based.
Hey,
Um,
I'm still up for the physical. I
yeah, no, no. I'm still
Yeah.
buying a bunch of physical games too. Don't get me. I still have a bunch of physical Blu-rays that I still watch. Like that's. I'm still a fan of the physical, but I mean, if we're gonna jump like, I mean, I know I'm jumping way too far the gun, but like 5, 10 years from now, like, dang, it's gonna be way different. It's gonna be the physical is gonna become like the relic or the collector's item.
But
And by that time,
interesting enough too by that because my fiance and I we've been we go to the stores and stuff like that like Target,
yeah, yeah.
and we start seeing vinyl, and brand new
Mhm.
releases are on vinyl, and everybody's like, it's the best sound quality, it's just so cool to have one of these, and it's the sound quality that's why I get it. And I'm thinking to myself, that's gonna
This has been
be
out before.
I'm like, that's gonna be
Yeah.
gaming in 15, 20
Wow.
years. People are gonna be like, whoa, what's that? I'm like, it's a disc. You play it natively. There's no lag? No,
Yep.
because you play
No.
it natively. It's all on disc. And people
Oh,
are gonna
right.
their minds are gonna be blown. Our children are gonna be like, what? It's a disc. How does it read? Like how does it go digital? There's no digital. You just look, disc drive in,
Yeah.
and you play
I'm
it. You play
gonna,
it natively.
I'm gonna be telling my kids that this is how we played games back then. Like we had we it was like the physical disc. Like you said, the vinyls, they'll just become popular. They'll release specialty consoles just to have disc with a drive.
Yeah,
Like
they're gonna be like, oh, you guys only had 4K.
by that time, what? It's gonna be like 20K, something like that. Like it's gonna be like because right now 8K is like the 8K is the new 4K because back then
Yeah,
4K was like that. Now it's 8K, but then by that time it's gonna be like 20K, and then 4K is gonna be like how 720p is today. It's gonna be like, whoa, only like 4K? Ew, gross. It's gonna be, whoa, you played games at 120 frames per second? Ew, you need 200. I was like, or something like that. I was like,
I get
ah,
nauseous. I get
I get
nauseous at looking at 60.
look how slow this 60 frames per second is. It's like ancient times. And then you and me are gonna sit with our grayer beards and everything, be like, oh man, like damn, we older,
Yeah,
we
I'm like,
older at this
I'm
time.
still playing Turok.
Yeah, like, oh man, have you played a game called Ocarina of Time? This is the best game ever. I remember back in my days with Ganon, it used to be the final battle. It was so epic. And then they look at the game now, they're all like, this is what you're talking about, Dad or Grandpa? Yes, this is so good. And then to them, it's gonna look like some ugly like polygon thing compared to whatever the hell we have in the future. Probably like the smoothest, most beautiful things on the planet. And dude, it's gonna be like Ready. It'll be like I remember if you remember from the movie Ready Player One. It's gonna be like that. Everyone's gonna be in a digital world. It'll be like that.
No,
I
no more
I
couch
foresee that.
co-op.
No couch co-op. Everyone's just gonna meet in the digital world. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It within our lifetimes. I hope so. Like probably maybe when we're 70 or 80, and then you and me, Josh, we're gonna sit next to each other with our dusty 4K TV and our dusty uh Xbox Series X, just playing Halo like how it was, like
Yeah.
back then at 70. Oh, I hope to do that. That'd be cool.
I'm just
That
like,
I think
I
that'd be
need a
legit.
weapon.
I know, like, did you see that? I stuck you. And then it's gonna be like, look at the
Betrayal.
hail. Oh, it takes me back to my days. And then it's like, do you remember teabagging Josh? Like, yeah, like that was fun back then. Used to hit the pad a couple times.
Me just randomly on the side. What?
I
What?
said, I stuck you. I said, and then I was like, "Where's my rocket launcher?" And then our kids are just gonna look at us like all strange, like our kids and grandkids are gonna look at us like, "What the heck are they doing?"
Well,
We're fast forwarding a little too much
yeah, a
here,
little too
like that's
much.
a little
But
too much here. But I'm
this
just saying, it will happen. This is gonna be happen like that.
Project Spartacus is dated to be spring of next year.
Yes, spring 2022.
Um, I don't think we'll hear anything until probably then. Until probably maybe I would say February when the games start releasing again. When
Mhm.
because I think right now Sony has been really quiet. They've been
Mhm.
super quiet. I don't think they've really said anything.
Mhm.
Xbox has been on the hype train since
Mhm.
I would say since Forza
Mhm.
launched. So I say they're gonna be riding that for a bit, and then PlayStation, when all things are said and done, uh, we have like 2 months I think until Forza releases, or not Forza, Horizon Forbidden West. That's scheduled
Okay.
for February, as well as Gran Turismo.
Okay.
That's when PlayStation, they're gonna get their gears going again, and start announcing it. But I'm excited for this
Same here.
on multiple fronts. I'm excited because PlayStation guy, I want them to do good on competition, and the second
Yes.
part is that competition. Like
Yep.
Xbox has been doing well on the Game Pass front since 2017, since launching it, and I've been a day one subscriber. I've had Game Pass since June of 2017 when it launched,
Yep.
and I've always been pushing it. I always tell everybody about it. My uncle, we talked a couple days ago because he wanted to get his nephew an Xbox, and he's like, "Should I get a Series X or a Series S?" And I told him, "You know what? Get the Series S because it's smaller. It's all digital. It's still as fast as the Series X, but just not as powerful. They don't need that right now. And then get Game
Yeah.
Pass. I told him get
Yep.
Game Pass for the year and over 100 games off the
Yep.
bat.
You got
And
options. There'll be something he likes in there. There'll be some stuff they'll like in there.
yeah,
Definitely.
and so he's gonna go that route. And with PlayStation, it just doesn't. They don't have that good comparable. They have all those games on PS Now for PS4, which are really good,
Hmm.
but it's that PS3 library that a lot of people want. And now with the PS1 and
Yep.
PS2, do it natively.
Damn.
They have to
Yeah.
install it. The thing that they need to
That's
get
that is
right
installed.
is get installed in installation as the option,
Yep.
and the price. They get
If
those two,
they
they're good.
yeah. If they do the natively to me, oh, that's gonna put them on top right there. That's gonna put okay, maybe not on top, but that will put them on the map again.
Yeah,
That will literally be like the thing that puts them back even more in than Game Pass. I mean, right now the PS5 I still believe outsells the Series X and the Series X and the Series S, but this is gonna put another big dagger onto the Xbox if this comes out with all native services. Like I'm already looking at all the classic games that we would want to play. Now obviously not all these games are gonna get released. It's gonna be like little periodic ones, but like like the original Crash Bandicoot series. Like I think when I was talking to you earlier, um, the Crash Bandicoot series, I want to play it back then with the original graphics, like
yeah,
the
the
original
polygon look.
polygon. Yeah. Classic Resident Evils on PlayStation was the boss, and the Spyro games, if they want to play those in the classic graphics. Twisted Metal, which is a series that needs to be brought back. I believe they
Yes,
are, but people want to play Twisted Metal. Um, Area 51, um, Heart of Darkness,
Soul
Tekken
Reaver.
games. Soul Reaver, Legacy of Kain, um,
Metal Gear Solid One.
WCW, NWO Thunder, Metal Gear Solid 1, um, and just a lot of, and of course, the Final Fantasy games.
Yeah.
The Final Fantasy games are going to be the most downloaded. Croc, a series that some people have probably not heard of, but it was an
Chrono
old platformer.
Trigger. Legend of
Chrono Trigger,
Dragoon
Chrono
for
Cross,
my JRPG
the
fans.
the Tomb Raider series, like some Star Wars games back then. Um,
A
the
Bug's
odd
Life.
A Bug's
Nah.
Life. Oh, dang! Now you're just naming the random one.
I like the Bug's Life on
I know, right?
PS1.
Now you're
Yeah,
just
I
naming
played
random
that
one.
one.
And also like the Oddworld series, which has a niche fan base, but I heard was very very popular at the time. And I'm just looking through all the lists right now of just PS1 games. Like, jeez, there is a lot that they can work with. But they're gonna do the same thing, I believe, like Nintendo is. They're gonna just release the most popular ones, and then they'll release the most popular ones, and then there'll be a couple of obscure ones that they'll just throw in there.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing though. My buddy too told me, I asked him what was like some of his favorite PlayStation games when we were at work,
Yeah.
and he busted out with NFL Blitz. I was like,
Oh
I
damn.
forgot about that, dude. NFL Blitz was
What
so
was it?
good.
He's on fire.
Fire. And then and then it was oh no wait, that's NBA. That's more NBA, right?
Well, I know the
That's to
NFL
be MGM.
Blitz.
Oh, the NFL Blitz one did one like that
Yeah,
too?
you would get on
Okay.
fire. You would
Yeah. Oh, you can get
like
on fire. Yeah, with a couple of sacks in a
tackle.
row,
Yeah.
and yeah. Oh yeah. So there's that, and then there's actually, I know I'm just going back into Doom for 1 second, but there's actually a special edition Doom that only came out on PlayStation that they can put on there too. It only came out on there. And then Rampage and yeah, okay. So then I'll be all, I could be listing games all day, but these are all just a sample of what they can bring in. And that's just PS1. And then there's PS2 and PS3. I never owned a PS3, but you had the PS3, and like you said already, there's a huge lineup there. So um, I'm excited for this service if it's the native service that we said. If it
Yeah.
is not, why are you doing this? Just don't bother.
It'd be a huge
It's
disappointment for that. That's why.
that would suck. That would be bad if they decided not to do that, because then I'll be like, dude, you said you wanted to compete with the Game Pass. You said you wanted to compete. Like, you don't compete like that. You shoot yourself in the foot if you do that.
Yeah. So I'm really excited. The two things they need to get right. Well, actually, I would add three. The first one, library of games that they're gonna be offering. Two,
Mm-hmm.
they need to have the download as an option. You can keep streaming whatever as an option too, but it needs to be downloadable. You need to be
Yeah.
able to play it natively on your hardware. And
Yes.
three, pricing,
Yep.
because you can have the first two, but if you're asking $250 for the year, no, I'm not gonna be doing that. It has to be competitive
Yeah.
enough.
Don't charge more. Even though we just said a bunch of games are great and everything, and we love it, if you make it cost more, then you know you're trying to bank on, which they could try to bank on the nostalgia only because of the PS1 and PS3 games. But I'm telling you, Sony, don't bank on the nostalgia. Do something competitive if you want to do it. Um, but I think, like you said also earlier, some people are going to pay the premium, so that's why Sony has the option to pay charge whatever the hell they think they want.
Yeah.
Um, but dude, don't make it cost as much as like a new console. That's the only thing I would say. Don't make it cost as much as Xbox Series S. Don't make it cost like that per year. Make it competitive. Make it reasonable. Make it a reasonable.
And you hear that laughter, you know what time it is. It is our final segment of the show. It is the boss pick of the week, and this week goes to Jesse. Jesse, which one do you have for us this week?
Yes. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yes. So I actually thought about this ever since I saw the newest Resident Evil be Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. Um, it's okay. If you're a Resident Evil fan, I would say
The movie,
watch
right?
it.
The movie.
Yeah, I'm talking about the movie. The
Okay.
movie. But no, Resident Evil 2 itself, the game, um, I didn't own it on PlayStation, but it still counts as PlayStation because it was more of a PlayStation game than an Nintendo 64 game. But my boss of the pick is actually um, my favorite boss of Resident Evil 2, or my favorite boss of Resident Evil the series, period. And that belongs to Dr. William Birkin.
Okay.
So, Dr. William Birkin is the creator of what is known as the G virus. So, if you follow along with Resident Evil 1 focused a lot on the T virus, which brought the monstrosities back to life, and it gave like the zombie properties and some mutation if injected directly. The G virus is more powerful, and it actually causes continuous mutation instead of just one thing like a basic creature. You're constantly evolving. So a little bit of the backstory on him. The reason why he is so memorable to me, because again, I played the N64 version of Resident Evil 2 so many times that I've always continuously fought this boss. And each time it is still huge and gigantic, and his presence is just like when you hear him like going everywhere. It's it is the most it is the most imposing thing, and you actually work your way up. It's a constantly evolving boss. And that's something that I love. You don't fight him the same way each time. Um, the first time that you fight him, um, depending on which scenario you get, the first time you get him, when he first. So the reason why he becomes what he becomes is because the Umbrella tries to take away. They betray him, and they try to take away the G virus sample from him. They shoot him and leave him for dead, but he injects himself with the G virus. That's what he does to save himself, but at the same time, it's also the biggest mistake in his history. It actually led to his ruin.
That's to do with the big arm and the eyeball, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Just for
Well,
context, for people who don't know, like I know Jesse went to depth about like raw, but
yeah,
this dude's like huge. This dude had like a
yeah,
huge arm and
yeah.
an eye popping out of it that I
He's
remember.
huge. Yes. Sorry, I did not go into context in the beginning. My bad, but I just get really excited about this box. He's like I'm remembering my childhood. I'm forgetting we're not a video podcast or anything yet, so we're working on that. Um, but yeah, he when you first see him, he is at first. So yeah, they betray him. He injects himself, and then he starts mutating throughout the game.
Yeah.
So then his first form, he gets a gigantic arm, and that arm develops a gigantic eyeball, and he's carrying a pipe. That's when you first fight him.
Very basic.
That's crazy. Yeah, very basic, but he's still somewhat part of his human skill. He still has his human side still intact, like somewhat, but he's just constantly mutating. And and then when he goes through his second phase, now the arm gets even bigger, the eye gets bigger, but now he gets a big gigantic claw hand. And then now his head, a new head has evolved, and his old head now goes to his shoulder. So now his old head is
Yeah.
going down. So now the mutation is starting to take over. And then the third form is the most popular one because this is the real final boss form of him. Now he grows an additional 2 arms. So now he has 4 arms total.
My
And
champ.
2 of his arms. Yeah, like the champ. There you go. We're going Pokemon. So then he gets that. And then he's even taller, and now the center starts developing teeth. And then the fourth form turns him into he starts going on all fours, and he starts looking more like an animal-like profile. But he has like the big teeth in front of him, and then the final form, he just kind of turns into a gigantic blob. So he's constantly evolving, and you fight him in all of these phases. So depending on which scenario you get, he is a constantly evolving creature that is hell bent on, well, number one, killing you,
Yeah.
and number two, he's trying to locate his daughter the entire time, because that's the only way for the seed to be progress. It has to be within the family member. So like he's trying to do like he's trying to like replicate and reproduce, but he's slowly but surely losing his humanity each form that he gets. And it's like a sad tale. Well, okay, it's not super sad because he's still an evil being that created this virus
You're like, he deserved it.
from Monteverse. Like, yeah, a little bit of like he deserved it. But then at the same time, you gotta go with a little other half, like he's losing his humanity and his family, and because he still had a family, he still had things to go with himself, um, and he's losing that side of himself more and more as that one thing that he created is transforming him into the hideous monstrosity that is the G virus creature. So he's one of the original members of Umbrella. He's not original, maybe not original member, but he worked at Umbrella from original. He used to partner with Wesker. For everyone who knows the Resident Evil games, he partnered with Wesker. They were both the scientists there, but he is still my favorite Resident Evil boss of all time as of this moment in time. His design is great, and his redesigns in RE2, the remake, was amazing. I love the way
I
he did
love
that.
RA2 remake. That is such
Yes.
a solid game to
Oh my
play
God.
for the first time and to replay it. It has that
Yes.
magic of, oh, you know what, I want to play it again with, all this other stuff that I have, or I know
Yep.
where to find things at. I'll play it like that. I love the RE2. And
And he looks
I loved his version in that
yeah.
one. He was really
Yeah.
cool.
Dude, his version in RE2 remake was awesome. Like I like to see, and then he has different sounds there. It was like whoa, like he's constantly like changing. He's like battling
Yeah.
himself, and he's constantly battling his changes, and of course there you get down and dirty with him. You know, you see the huge claw hand in your face when he's trying to swipe you with it, and the only way you can take him out is with like a big steel crate or like a lot of you have to use outside sources, not just straight up the guns. It's not the only way. But
With
yes,
Carlos's help.
there you go. There you go. Well, hold on, isn't that Nemesis?
Oh yeah, that's three.
Yeah,
I
that's
was
like I was
thinking
like
three.
different one,
That's already
different
three.
one. Yeah, yeah, with Leon and Claire, they both each have to combat this creature and what was a man but became an insatiably gigantic creature all the way until the end. When you all the way until the end when he's gonna try to eat a train himself. He's that big. He actually grows that big. He tries to eat the train and destroy everything.
Dude's
Um,
hungry.
Yep, he's hungry, man. He's hungry for you. He's hungry for your soul. Um, but yeah, if you want to look him up, everybody. William Birkin or playing through Resident Evil. That's the boss I love from Resident Evil. I love a lot of other ones too. Maybe in the future I'll name some other ones because I love some other ones too. But this one's the hands down the one I remember the most out of all the Resident Evil series. The one I love the most.
Yeah, that's a good one. And I like the backstory, the change of the character of him, realizing his fate and knowing that,
Yep.
hey, you know what, I just want revenge. I just want to kill all you guys and take you guys down. And then the change in terms of the battle,
Mhm.
the different tactics that you have to use, his transformation that you see in front of you while you're playing it. It's really good. I
Mhm.
really liked how they did it also in the remake. I think that was
Mhm.
a good, I guess, escalating
Oh yeah.
of his boss stature.
Agree. Agree. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful. I know he's an ugly creature, but it's a beautiful creature to me. It's beautiful. It's like they designed it. This is my horror movie fan side coming out. Like it's beautiful. It's
It's beautiful.
beautiful. It's beautiful. But yeah, that is my boss pick of the week. And they actually did a pretty good portrayal of the character himself in the movie too.
In the
So
film.
in the film, they actually did a pretty good design of him, and it worked out to me. So um, I'd say see it if you're a real big fan of Resident Evil series. You can check it out if you like, or maybe wait if you're not such a big fan. Or if you have a subscription service like me, yeah, see it. You ain't wasting your time. I mean, you're gonna see you have a movie pass anyways. Just you have a movie pass, just go see it.
Okay. Well, that's our show for the week. All filled about PlayStation Now and Game Pass and the competition and our experiences, what we're excited for. Let us know if you're excited for Project Spartacus, if this is going to be something that you're interested in, or if you just don't jive well with subscription services like this. But had a fun time, Jesse, this week. Um,
Always. This is
as
the first one.
always,
This is the first one of my new place.
yeah, new place, new the first show at your new place, and you're enjoying it. Good area.
So far so good, man. So far everything's going great, and just walking around looking at everything that's me so far, and can't wait to see what the future holds, and can't wait to decorate this room a heck of a lot better than it is now. It looks kind of plain Jane right now, but it will be better soon.
Okay. Well, next week most likely it'll be Halo centric. I know we've been on
Mhm.
a Xbox ride, but that's what we've been seeing. That's what we're reacting to. Halo Infinite
Mhm.
launches the 8th of December. It'll
Yep.
be a
By the time,
Wednesday.
that's right, Wednesday the 8th.
Yeah,
So, ooh, by that time my Xbox will be set up on my new TV, ready to go.
there you go. Uh,
Yes.
you'll have that set up. We'll probably play and do our first impressions on what
Yep.
we think about. We'll probably
Campaign mode,
also
baby.
yes, campaign. And I think we'll be
Yep.
going in detail with our holiday schedule because of the holidays. We'll probably do another like a Thanksgiving type of thing. We'll already have pre-recorded. We're thinking about maybe even PS2. Uh, no, not PS2. PS3, Wii, and Xbox 360 generations. Just giving our favorite moments,
Yeah.
our favorite
Dude, and
games.
you should actually pull up. We should actually put up another poll to see if there's another genre that people want to talk about too.
Oh yeah,
I really like the genre talk too.
yeah, that was a really
So like,
good one. The
yeah,
RPG. We should. What should we put? Should we put like a? Because we did like
what?
fighting the first time. Did
Yeah,
RPG?
it was like
Maybe
FPSs, RPGs. I mean, platformers, first. I said first person shooters already.
I think.
Do puzzle games like. Well, I don't remember each of the four ones that was on there.
Yeah, we'll set up a. I'll put up another
Yeah.
poll this week when after this airs, and we'll take your guys' thoughts. We'll see what you guys think about. Maybe even not genres, but maybe even game series that we enjoy. Maybe we can put like
Ooh.
a Gears of War. We can do like a Metal Gear Solid podcast or
Ooh.
a
There you go.
Doom podcast. Um,
Or anything else. Let's see.
or anything else. Yeah. So
Let's find
uh,
out.
stay tuned. Where can they find you at, Jesse?
So you can find me on Twitter at Jesse underscore Fragoso, Jessie, and then underscore Fragoso on Twitter. And then you can also find me on Jesse, Jessie dot Fragoso on Instagram.
Okay. And I'm McQuack306 everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, PlayStation, Xbox. I'm more active on Twitter. If you want to find me on a social platform. And
How interesting. I'm more active on Instagram. I'm trying to get more active on Twitter. I'm trying to get more active on Twitter.
so yeah, we'll see you guys on the next week's show, and thank you guys again for joining us.
Yes, thank you, everybody. We love you all. We see all the comments and all the beautiful things you guys say. You guys rock. Just gonna say. Just saying.
All right, later, you guys.
All right. Thank you guys. Have a fantastic day, morning, or evening. Have a good one.